बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मोहतरम नाज़रीन कराम, मैं आज आपको बड़ी तारीखी जगह की ज़ियारत कराऊंगा और आज जुमे का दिन भी है और जुमे के दिन हम जुमे की नमाज मस्जिद-ए-अक़सा में पढ़ते हैं और इस दिन हम वॉकिंग टूर करते हैं। मस्जिद-ए-अक़सा का जो कंपाउंड है जहाँ पे मस्जिद-ए-अक़सा कायम है और उसके अंदर 4 क्वार्टर्स हैं कि आप देख रहे हैं इस वक्त हम चल रहे हैं तो रास्ते में बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, हिस्टोरिकल चीज़ें हमारा गाइड बता रहा है, आपने उसको सुना है।
My friends, we were walking on the main western corridor, it's called, okay? They call it in Arabic, Bab Khan al-Zayd, the gate of the oil inn. You know what is the inn? We have that one market. The one straight ahead is the spice market. Here we have the butcher's market. Soon on the left we'll have the tanner's market. We have the rugs market and we have the cotton makers market and we have the silversmith market. So each market was specialized in his own thing. But not anymore. Now everything is mixed.
अब हम होली सेपल्क्रे चर्च पहुंचेंगे। होली सेपल्क्रे चर्च बड़ा तारीखी चर्च है। इसको अरबी में कनीसतुल-क़यामा कहा जाता है। क्रिश्चियनिटी के अकीदे के मुताबिक जब हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम को सूली पे चढ़ाया गया तो वो 3 दिन तक जो है यहाँ पे उनकी तदफीन हुई। तो उनके बकौल जो है वो ये इनकी तदफीन यहाँ पे हुई थी और फिर वो आसमानों पे उठा लिए गए। जो ईस्टर का जो त्यौहार है वो इसी वजह से सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है।
My friends, this is the church of the Holy Sepulchre. Sepulchre means resurrection. Over there, that arch, inside, it is called the Rock of Golgotha. Golgotha means the skull. They believe this is on top, on the upper part, it is the place where Jesus Christ was crucified in the Christian faith. And in the bottom of the rock, in the on this level, and the rock is still there, they say there used to be a skull. Some say the skull of Adam, some say whatever, but we can never really be sure. Nothing of that. Nonetheless, this church was built in the 4th century, first half of the 4th century, between 326 and 337 by Queen Helena, or they call it Saint Helena. The Virgin Mary is the mother of Sayyidina al-Masih alayhi salam. Saint Helena is considered to be the mother of Christianity. Why? Because she was the one that made Christianity the official religion of the Byzantine Empire in the time of Constantine the Great, who built Constantinople at the time, and the headquarters of the Roman Empire was in Byzantium, in Byzantine Istanbul nowadays. What you see in front of you, this structure is from the Crusaders period. I mentioned yesterday that most of the Christian churches, monasteries, whatever chapels were destroyed by the Persians in the year 614. That's 2 years, only few years before Islam came. And one of the destroyed structures was the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And nonetheless, they rebuilt it again after that. And when the Crusaders came in 1099, the Crusaders were here from 1099 until 1187 when Salah ad-Din kind of liberated the city. They spent 50 years rebuilding the church. Okay, so how you can tell what is Crusader and what is Byzantine period? It's very simple. If you look at the arches over here, we have pointed arches, a little pointed arches. It's not round arches. Can you see that? It's very easy. You have pointed arches. Now, Crusaders, they adopted pointed arches from Islamic architecture. Islamic architecture was the first to use the pointed arches the way you see them now. And the Crusaders, they adopted that from the Islamic structures and Islamic architecture, and then it was taken into Europe and adopted there. And then after the Renaissance, we reached the Gothic arch. And now if you see what you call it, Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, this is Islamic architecture, my friends. It's not English or European. This is originally Islamic architecture. And you can see that in Boston, United States. You can see it in many places in Europe, all over Europe. This is originally Islamic architecture. So, but if you go inside the church, many, like from here you can see, on the top you can see some round arches. These are the original building from the Byzantine period, okay? So this place is considered to be the holiest place for the Christian faith. Why? They believe this is the place where Jesus was crucified, died on the cross, buried, and then resurrected from this very place. Hence, it is of the greatest importance. Yesterday, near Rab al-Adawiyya, after we exit from Rab al-Adawiyya, we crossed the street, right? And we had a gate to our left. That was a gate to a church called Ilyona Church. This was the third church that was built by St. Helena. We had this one, we had the Nativity in Bethlehem, and we had that one over there. I told you that Jesus taught his disciples the prayer of our fathers in heaven in that cave. So, the whole church now is dominated. We have so many dominations inside, about 6 or 7. We have Catholics, Roman Catholics, or Greek Orthodox. We have Armenians, we have Syrian, we have Coptic, we have Ethiopians. We have a lot of dominations. When Umar ibn al-Khattab came to Jerusalem, before he comes to Jerusalem, the city was besieged by the Muslim army. And they demanded that the keys of the city to be handed to the Muslim army. The Patriarch of Jerusalem at the time, his name was Sophronius, he said, I would only handle the keys of the city to the Muslim Caliphate, at the time Umar ibn al-Khattab. So they sent a messenger to Umar ibn al-Khattab alayhi salam, and he rides a camel all the way from Medina to Jerusalem. They had one camel and he had a companion. His name was Ka'b ibn al-Ahbar. He was a Jewish Yemenite who converted into Islam. He was his companion and they came. They were taking turns on the camel in their journey. When they get tired, they take turns. So when they reached the city, it was the turn of Ka'b ibn al-Ahbar riding the camel. We know that Umar ibn al-Khattab was the most humble person you can see in the Islamic history. He was extremely humble, very simple clothes, you know, he was very, very, very humble and very simple in his ways. And he was very just at that time. So he entered the city, it was the turn of Ka'b ibn al-Ahbar riding the camel. They thought that Ka'b ibn al-Ahbar is the caliph. Then they were shocked that it was not. It was the humble, simple man. I think it was Amr ibn al-As or Uthman ibn Affan. At the time he came and wanted to put his cape on the shoulders of Umar ibn al-Khattab to dignify him a little bit more. Umar refused. Then they took Umar ibn al-Khattab into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which was the most beautiful, the biggest, and the most impressive building in the whole of Jerusalem. So he was inside and he was visiting, and of course they handed the key. For the shock of the Christians at the time, or the Byzantine people, of course, they were expecting looting, destruction, theft, even rape and stealing and everything. There was none of that. It was very simple. It was zero blood, as they call it. No bloodshed at all. There's nothing. Everything went peacefully, nicely.
हज़रत उमर रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु ने जब नमाज का वक्त हुआ तो आपने नमाज पढ़नी थी, तो जो उस वक्त का जो पैट्रिक था, जो हेड ऑफ दी चर्च था, उसने आपको ऑफ़र की कि आप नमाज होली सेपुल्क्र चर्च में पढ़ें। तो आपने कहा नहीं, मैं यहाँ नमाज नहीं पढ़ूँगा, क्योंकि हो सकता है मेरे बाद में जो लोग आए वो कहें कि जी ये हमारे लिए मुक़द्दस जगह है, हज़रत उमर ने नमाज़ पढ़ी थी, तो कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ना खड़ा हो। तो लिहाजा आपने एक कंकरी उठाकर फेंकी और कंकरी जहाँ गिरी तो आपने कहा मैं वहाँ नमाज़ पढ़ूँगा। तो फिर वहाँ आपने नमाज़ पढ़ी। आप देख सकते हैं बिल्कुल सामने मस्जिद-ए-उमर कहा जाता है। और फिर हज़रत सलाहुद्दीन अय्यूबी के दौर में यहाँ एक मस्जिद तामीर कर दी गई जो आज भी मौजूद है। और यहाँ पे वो मायदा उमरिया भी है जो हज़रत उमर रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु ने उनको लिख कर दिया था।
तो सफ्रोनियस ने कहा कि भाई आप ऐसा करें, हमसे कोई हमें लिख कर दे दें, क्योंकि बाद में आने वाले जो है वो फिर कहेंगे कि भाई कोई प्रूफ। तो वो हज़रत उमर रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु ने अहद उमरिया लिखवाया, उसको अल-अहदा यानी ट्रीटी ऑफ हज़रत उमर, और फिर उस पर दस्तखत किए हज़रत उमर बिन खत्ताब ने। और ये देखें खालिद बिन वलीद रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु, उमर बिन आस रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु, अब्दुर्रहमान बिन औफ रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु, اور معاویہ بن ابی سفیان رضی اللہ تعالیٰ عنہ. تو حضرت معاویہ، حضرت عبد الرحمن بن عوف، خالد بن ولید، حضرت عمر بن عاص، حضرت عمر بن خطاب، تو یہ 4 لوگ گواہ بنے
اور اس بات کی گارنٹی دی تھی کہ اس چرچ کو ختم نہیں کیا جائے گا، اور جو بھی کرسچنوں کی مقدس جگہیں ہیں، ہولی پلیسز ہیں، ان کو قائم رکھا جائے گا. تو آج تک الحمدللہ مسلمان اپنے اس معاہدے پہ قائم ہیں. اور اس جگہ کی ایک بڑی تاریخی اہمیت ہے کہ اس کی جو چابی ہے وہ ہمیشہ سے صلاح الدین ایوبی نے ایک کام کیا تھا کہ جتنے بھی چرچ تھے، ہولی پلیسز تھیں مختلف مذاہب کی، ان کی جو چابیاں تھیں وہ مسلمانوں کے کنٹرول میں تھی کہ مسلمان کھولیں گے، مسلمان بند کریں گے. اور اس کے پیچھے اس کا ایک کیونکہ وہ جنرل تھا تو اس پوائنٹ آف ویو سے کہ بھئی کیونکہ اسلام کے اندر ہے کہ کسی کو کسی مذہب کے مطابق عبادت کرنے کی اجازت ہے، روکا نہیں جا سکتا، لیکن اس جگہ کو مسلمانوں کے مفادات کے لیے استعمال کرنا یا اس جگہ کو یعنی کوئی سازش کے طور پہ استعمال کرنا، یہ کام نہ ہو سکے. تو اس کے لیے اس نے یہ ایک سزا دی تھی، اور چابیاں جو ہے وہ مسلمانوں کے پاس رہیں گی. تو یہ ہولی سپری کا چرچ ہے، اس کی بھی چابی مسلمان خاندان ہے اس کے پاس ہے. وہ آتے ہیں، صبح کھولتے ہیں اور پھر شام کو بند کرتے ہیں. تو یہ بڑی تاریخی جگہ ہے. میں اس کے حوالے سے کئی دفعہ ویڈیو بنا چکا ہوں. میری ویڈیو اس حوالے سے اور بھی موجود ہیں. اگر آپ اور زیادہ ڈیٹیل میں جانا چاہتے ہیں تو آپ جا سکتے ہیں، دیکھ سکتے ہیں اور سن سکتے ہیں.